City, do they have legends? I mean, to United.
यूनाइटेड ब्रो
United
पूरी टीम ले आओ फर्ग्यूसन की पूरी टीम ले आओ फर्ग्यूसन को भी ले आओ
actually, man. Welcome to the Football Republic of India, guys. Long time no see. Been a couple of weeks. We're sorry we couldn't, upload a podcast last week, but life happened, man. I mean, we are trying to juggle real life and doing this.
बस हवा निकल गई.
But we are all excited because we are back, and we want to keep pushing out as much content as we can. And to do that, in fact, we have a very interesting new format today. We're calling it the Offside Opinions, where we will ask, thought-provoking and good controversial question. And this is more like a sort of like a question and answer sort of format that we're trying to try. So please, guys, you can like the video if you like this. You can keep commenting your opinions on what you think about the answers that we are going to, answer for the questions. And let's see where this takes us. And please, guys, you can engage with us and tell us what kind of format ideas you have, and let's see where this takes us.
Oh man, I'm super excited for this segment. This is gonna be I'm not saying controversial, but it will be thought-provoking in a way that I'm sure certain things or certain places you guys are gonna get a bit uncomfortable or maybe you might have we might have difference of opinions on this. So
yeah.
Let's kick off the segment.
Yeah, let's get into it.
Yeah. Okay. So the first question that we have here, it's quite a thought-provoking one because everyone has their own little opinion on this. So who's the ones to watch player right now or the breakout star of the season till now in Premier League? What do you think?
It's quite an interesting one, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you basically want to. A standard guy will answer your Palmers and Saka and Haaland, but we want to keep it a bit left field, and because Premier League is such a league where we kind of follow all the teams and all the players. So there are a few players that have caught my eye. I would go with one is Morgan Rogers, Aston Villa. I mean, game week 2 or game week 3, it was against Arsenal where he kept taking the ball on the half turn and just very old school. There's something very old school about him, where he's so good with he's very powerful. He has got a great frame, but that does not compromise his nimbleness and agility with the ball.
Absolutely. 22 years old man.
He goes on the half turn and carries the ball well. It really works out well for Emery, and obviously Aston Villa are doing really well. What is interesting is that when I was researching on the player, I did not realize he's been in City Academy for 4 years, because before being loaned out to Middlesbrough, Bournemouth, Blackpool, and already this season he's got a goal and 2 assists. So I think he's a player to watch out for, and for all the FPL heads out there, he's a very cheap, around 5 million fit and forget sort of a player in your midfield. And so, I'm getting my points from him.
So before you go ahead with your second one, I'll give out one of mine.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think I'm gonna back one of my boys, and you guys should definitely look into this guy. It's called Renato Vega. He's called Renato Vega, and I've spoken about him in the previous podcasts, and how this guy is. Come into the team. He came from Basel. He was part of the Sporting Lisbon Cup B team, and so he's a very 6'3" lefty, very sturdy, very technically sound lefty player, and he has this aura of stability in him. Yeah. This guy is a very versatile player in such a way that when he was playing for Lisbon, so I was looking up his, every like fanboy looks up these like young
cons
players and cons and whatever, like your YouTube videos and how he's doing and what he's doing and wherever he's playing. So he was he's such a player. He was playing as a centre back as well, but at the same time he was playing as a midfielder for Sporting.
Right.
And right now, in our plans, he is also touted to be one of the inverted left backs in case when needed.
Interesting.
So he's someone who can
Does he
play.
start all games now, or?
No, he doesn't start all games. He's slowly being pushed. Bro, he's what? He's like I think he's 20 years old.
Yeah.
So he there
And he got him for a cheap. It wasn't very expensive.
Yeah. So he
20ish or something.
He does not have that much of a pedigree in professional football before Chelsea. He just played like a few a season in Basel where he was not a regular starter again. But this guy is touted to have a great ceiling.
Right.
And I think for a 14 million deal, I think it's a great one to watch for.
And I think he will be one of the beacons ki bhai, Chelsea have spent so much money that there will be some players that do well. He might be one of them.
Absolutely.
Very interesting.
Absolutely.
I think my second one was Yakuba Minte from Brighton.
Everyone is raving about
What a guy, bro. He's 20 years old, bro. He's 20 years, plays on the right. And if any one of you guys know where do Brighton get these players?
यार बताओ यार
I mean,
खर्चा करना कम हो गया.
What is happening, bro? They will sell all their players for 50 million to Arsenal, City, Liverpool, everybody, and then they will just figure out. So I was just reading about Minte, right? He's already got a couple of. He's got a goal and an assist. Abhi tak. 20 years old, plays for. He's Gambia nationality ka banda hai. What is interesting is that before this, he was for 1 year he was in Newcastle and 0 games played in Newcastle, and then he was loaned out to Feyenoord under Arne Slot, and last year he played Champions League. He played all the big games for Feyenoord.
Yeah.
He scored 10 goals for Feyenoord, man. He scored a brace in one of their big wins as well.
Good start for an under 20.
And he's 20 right now.
Yeah, he's 20, yeah.
And more importantly, what I like about Brighton is that they find these players, they give them the platform, and they find these coaches that can, enable them to play in a system where they can prosper.
Yeah.
And Minte against Arsenal also, obviously we're 10 men and everything, but the way he played, bro, I was like, who's this guy? Like, he was very good with his decision making was very sound. So this is a guy that I feel like is another one of the master strokes of Brighton, that you will see through the season. So let's keep an eye out for him.
Yeah.
Who's your second player?
This one is, so coming from a Chelsea fan, it's very, like, I have to put a stone on my heart and say this, but this guy is Brennan Johnson from Tottenham, man.
Yeah.
And I have to give flowers to him for his work that he's doing right now. Like, he's been through a lot since the past 2 months.
Yeah.
So his initial performances were not great according to people in the perception, and he was being hated on and being shit on social media, and he was being just, if the right word is abused, like pretty much. So it came down to a point where this guy just deleted his social media. From that point on, he played 6 games, he scored 6 goals. And,
in all comps, yeah.
In all comps, yeah, obviously. And in Premier League, I believe he just has about like 3 goals,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
3 goals and the rest. But his average XG is like 3 goals, 3.1, which is like in 7 matches this guy's average.
His accumulated XG
is 3 goals, which is insane. So per 90 it's 0.57,
right.
0.6. So that's like he's a 60% chance for him to score a goal every match.
Right.
And he's 21 years old.
Yeah.
He's doing great.
And he came from Nottingham.
He came from Nottingham, and more than the performance on the pitch, I'm liking his mentality, man. Like this entire fiasco of him shutting down his social media and this guy just going like, I'm gonna let the football talk. This
Agreed.
is something which impressed me.
Yeah,
And coming from a Chelsea fan, I'm talking about a Tottenham player. I rarely do that.
Yeah.
But this guy is a one to watch, man. I think he's going to do great things.
I think he's cemented his position now.
Yeah, and probably in a year or so he's going to be out of Tottenham somewhere. So, yeah.
बहुत तेज हो रहा है बहुत तेज हो रहा है
Yeah, so
Interesting.
I think
Now I think it's we can go to the second question. So offside opinions, guys. Second question is England squad, good problem or bad problem for the manager? So the question revolves around most teams would obviously consider having a lot of talent and good players as a good problem.
like a like City.
But yeah,
Yeah.
and but with because England is a national squad and because there's so much opinion around media, what do you think? It's a good problem to have, bad problem to have? And through this question, we would like to settle on who do you think would be the best midfield three, say, for the upcoming any big European tournament. And because it's an international break, I think it's a good question to have.
Yeah, so I generally feel that this international sides versus the league sides, the club sides, are very difficult to like manage because the frequency of the games in the league side where you are playing for a club is so high compared to this international sides that the amount of players that you want to gel along with the amount of talent that England has, it's very difficult for
Right.
any manager.
Right.
Like today, you can say, okay, Cole Palmer is doing amazing. We should put him in a number 10. We should, but we cannot also deny Bellingham because he's doing amazing
Right.
as an individual player for Real Madrid. And also, like in this international break, he scored the last match, I think day before yesterday, he scored a goal
Against Greece.
Against Greece, they lost that game.
Yeah.
Palmer missed a few sitters as
Yeah.
well. It was not one of his best games. Pickford made a lot of mistakes.
Yeah.
So these guys, their mistake was that they tried all these three players, which is Foden, Bellingham, and Palmer at the
So
same time.
you would say it's like a problem for them rather
It's
than
a major,
bad
it's a major
problem.
problem. I think it's a major problem, and especially with the uncertainty of who's going to be the next manager. I don't think Lee Carlsey, who's the interim manager right now, is going to be the main manager.
I think anyways अभी बहुत बड़ा कोई वो नहीं आने वाला है कप नहीं आ रहा है तो that's why they are okay with कि अब तू संभाल
हाँ अभी संभाल देख डेवलप
Let's see
कर
who we can
देख
get.
ट्राई आउट थिंग्स बट आई
if there was a World Cup looming large I don't think रहता हो
2026 right, so 20 before I think sooner or later, I think rather sooner, they should be shifting to a confirmed manager
Yeah.
who's going to be creating a squad,
Yeah.
who's going to be like, so someone, I mean someone who's very decisive, like okay,
like
we have this much talent.
USA got Pochettino.
Yeah, so they want Pochettino, yes, but because the amount of talent that they have, they need to cut down. Even though there is media backlash, this guy have to be like, whoever comes, this guy has to be like, I have these many players, but I'm gonna be only working with X amount of players. These guys are my main priority. If someone,
But I mean, for that you require someone with big balls who like
Yeah,
a manager
yeah,
who has ability to say that inside a dressing room. But coming
someone
back
like
to
a Capello, bro. Someone like a Fabio Capello.
Coming back to the question, I have two cents about it in a way कि I feel England का national team is comparable to Indian cricket national team. I'll explain myself.
Yeah.
So because the talent pool specifically with England is so high right now, and I think it's a bit overrated also. I'll tell you why. Spain का भी बहुत अच्छा है, फ्रांस का तो अलग ही लेवल का है, बट स्टिल उन लोग का बहुत क्लैरिटी कि इसी को खिलाना है, इसी को कोई एक दो, अब जैसे सलीबा को भी ब्रेक इन करना टफ था, बट वंस ही ब्रोक इनटू द टीम नाउ ही इज परमानेंट. बट विद इंग्लैंड मेरे को ऐसा लगता है कि बिकॉज द मीडिया प्रेशर एंड द फैंस का प्रेशर इतना हाई है, the same as Indian cricket
Yeah,
team.
man, fanatics,
Even if
bro.
they're winning, even if they're going to the finals and losing, they will never be like. Let's be serious. England have not won a major trophy since I don't know 60
Ages,
70.
ages,
exactly.
ages.
But they still are entitled कि नहीं यार, golden generation, another golden generation, and I don't think that they don't have good talent. They have amazing talent.
Yeah.
Like I mean the kind of attacking prowess that they have. Okay, Kane का अब थोड़ा खत्म हो रहा है, maybe Watkins का.
But still, they're top 3 in country football.
Yeah.
Top 3 in country football, easy. Like
easy.
you can debate they're even second.
Yeah,
maybe
after
not first,
France.
but after France, yeah.
I mean Brazil भी अभी इतना खास नहीं चल रहा है, but
Spain,
the point
England,
being,
and
the point being कि I think that itself the pressure is so much that अगर भी उन लोग जीत रहे हैं, if you play Saka and you don't play Palmer, Euros में वही हो रहा था. The game they were losing, then Palmer comes in, scores that goal.
Yeah.
Like, बोला था Palmer को तो खिलाना था भाई, तुम लोग क्यों नहीं खिलाए?
they'll always have something to
If
say.
Palmer plays and has a stinker like he or Foden for that example, he
Yeah.
had a stinker yesterday and
Absolutely.
0 goals, everything was
Absolutely.
0, and then once a big player has a stinker, then they're like, oh, this player is gone.
No, so
So this happens with teams where there's so much pressure, media pressure.
Absolutely.
So they need a manager who can take ballsy calls कि यार I don't care about anything.
Yeah.
ये मेरे 15-16 players हैं, इनको ही खिलाना है मेरे को.
Yeah.
In fact, in hindsight, Gareth Southgate did that really well.
he did,
अब
but
जैसे
he
Maguire.
supported wrong players.
हाँ,
I
जैसे-
feel he supported wrong
I
players.
think to be very honest, उसको कोई तुम गलती नहीं बोल सकते because he
यार
took
फाइनल
them
पहुंचा था.
Euros
He
में
reached
भी,
a
World Cup
final.
में भी.
He reached a final in Euros.
and semis in
Semis
World Cup.
in World
तो
Cup.
and the team looked good. It didn't look थोड़ा chance creation का issue था,
Yeah.
थोड़ा defensive थे, but cup teams need to be defensive.
You have to put respect on
Yeah.
Gareth Southgate for sure. Like जितना भी लोग criticize करे that he did
So
not
it-
manage to get through the line.
It
But
comes across almost as if it's not only a managerial problem, but it's also a squad problem कि कितनों को fit करोगे
हाँ,
यार?
and
क्या
कितने
बेलिंगम भी आ गया? बेलिंगम को ड्रॉप नहीं कर सकते यार.
Yeah, yeah,
साका
yeah.
को ड्रॉप नहीं कर सकते.
नहीं, so that
Palmer
is-
has made a case for himself. Foden को कैसे ड्रॉप करोगे?
That is the biggest problem, and it is going to be a problem.
Yeah.
They have to either change a formation,
Yeah.
or they have to be like, okay, this guy is going to be a super sub. One of the major stars is going to be a super sub
Yeah.
who's going to come and change the game after like 60-70 minutes. Other than that, I don't see a way out here because
Okay, then
these three
quick
together.
answer. Three best midfield for England going forward.
So
And okay, let's do.
Yeah.
चलो डिफेंस कोई भी रहे. Let's do 4-3-3 अगर खेल रहे हैं.
Yeah.
तो मिडफील्ड 3 और अटैक 3 कौन रहेगा?
so Harry Kane still, I think, center forward रहेगा ही रहेगा.
At least for the next 2 years.
Yeah, for the next 2 years. I'm going to start from there.
Okay.
Harry Kane, right wing Saka, left wing I believe should be Anthony Gordon or Foden, depending. Foden generally आजकल left wing नहीं खेल रहा है. He's more of a cam.
Right.
But still, Anthony Gordon, Foden,
Yeah.
you take your pick. In the midfield, now this is where it becomes crucial.
Yeah.
I feel Palmer number 10 cemented है. At this point of time,
Yeah.
there is no debate.
Yeah, fair
There
enough.
is no debate.
Yeah.
Bellingham can play a deep lying playmaker
Yeah.
next to either Declan Rice or Kobe Manu if needed when Declan Rice becomes injured. But Declan Rice, Kobe Manu, Declan Rice, Bellingham and Palmer.
Yeah.
This is the
I would
midfield
have-
three.
I agree with
Sorted.
that completely. उसमें भी a couple of tweaks that England manager will have to do is instead of going with a flat 3-3, he might have to do a double pivot of Bellingham and Rice, and
Yeah.
where Bellingham becomes a box to box and Rice.
Exactly. So
Because I think problem कहाँ आ रहा है कि तुम जो राइस मैड्रिड में है, जो पामर चेल्सी में, जो साका आर्सेनल में, तुम उसी को कॉपी करने की कोशिश करो एक ही सिस्टम
नहीं
में.
होगा.
वो पॉसिबल नहीं है.
possible नहीं.
अब बेलिंगम जो मैड्रिड में खेलता है, he is able to play like that because he's got such a good platform कि तो कुछ जो आगे करना है कर.
Absolutely.
इंग्लैंड में वो नहीं हो सकता.
Absolutely.
My suggestion is the same squad. Just have a double pivot. Rice, Bellingham, Palmer plays as a 10. And Palmer keeps drifting with Saka. Saka plays as an inside forward with Kane, and Foden and Bellingham play together on
Yeah.
the leftish side.
Yeah.
So,
Absolutely.
there we are.
Okay. So I think we're gonna jump to the next question.
Let's go.
And this is quite an important one because I feel this should be the conversation that should be happening right now
Okay.
in football. And this is for Arsenal fans.
Right.
So what does Arsenal have over City and Liverpool right now as they are in the race?
Yeah.
Tactically, from a squad's perspective also,
Yeah.
that gives them this edge over them to go through and
One up.
win one
Yeah.
up and take this season on their hands and like grab this season by the neck and win the trophy.
Yeah.
What is the tactical edge from a player's perspective or from a squad perspective or everything? What do you
It's
think?
actually a very interesting question because we've been challenging for the title for the last 2 years.
Shit!
And it's quite an interesting question according to me. क्योंकि क्या है, what people think is when Guardiola makes his squad, when Guardiola plays his football, he is so dogmatic and so rigid about his ways. Not in a bad way. We can't say bad because he wins
It's the
everything.
Bible for him. He's gonna follow it.
मैं ये करूँगा.
Yeah.
And including Arsenal fans, including people like me, fuck Arsenal fans, including people like me, I thought कि यार ये आर्टेटा बहुत similar बनेगा गार्डियोला के बारे में. वह गार्डियोला के जैसे he will be very similar in terms of the way he plays, the way he manages his squad, the kind of players he signs. What I've seen a common theme in the last 2 years is that Arteta has always gone for versatile players. You go right back to Ben White, I mean, no pun intended, right back.
Yeah.
You go to Ben White, you go to Tomiyasu, you go to people like Declan Rice, who started as a 6, is now playing as a 9, as an 8. You go to people like Jesus, who can play front three में कहीं भी, Havertz, Timber. So everybody was like he likes versatile players. That was out in the open last 2 years. It's only this season where I feel it's showing up. Even Calafiori.
Yeah,
it's showing, he was bought as a left centre back in Bologna, and is converted into a aggressively inverted left back against Southampton. Second half, Calafiori played as a right back.
Yeah.
There are clips of Calafiori right se cross डाल रहा है as a left back. So is that inverted, almost like Zinchenko.
The versatility of these players is helping you guys out at this point of time in the season where you are running around with injuries.
Right.
And
I think the edge मेरे को especially City के game में दिखा, where if you can see in the mainstream media also people started picking it up, and there are a few managers, opposition managers, who have said it in their post press conference as well, that Arsenal now, Arteta has built a team that can just play any football game you want to play. तुमको physical game खेलना है, you want to play like the Stoke City, you want to play like a Brentford game where सब धक्का मुक्की चल रही है, rigid game where the ball in play is not more than 60 minutes. Arsenal can play that. You want to play a low block like a Leicester last week, where we will not come out of our defense. तुमको आना है तो गोल मारना है तो
red card मिल गया है, बैठो.
We don't mind playing like that.
Yes.
You want a red card game where City जैसी attacking team हमको attack करेगी. We will park the bus. We are confident in our defense. We can play that.
You guys were unlucky, but you would have pulled off the heist of the century.
Exactly. So
that game.
So that can only be done because he's got players who are mentality monsters.
Yeah.
He is ready, and what is beautiful about his team is कि they follow everything he says. कि मतलब he's genuinely got them
buying into the plan.
Completely. वो उसको बोलता है कि ट्रोसार्ड नहीं यार तेरे को लेफ्ट 8 खेलना है, फॉल्स 9 खेलना ही नहीं है तेरे को. वो बोलेगा ठीक है मैं खेल लूंगा. So he's able to do that only because he has that versatile players, and I think that is what we have over City and Liverpool, almost to a T where abhi Rodri is injured for the whole season, and now it will take time for City to manage without Rodri
a loss,
because Rodri is that kind of player. जब Odegaard injured हुआ, I was like fuck, we are dead man. अब चांस क्रिएशन
मुझे भी लगा था गए,
एंड नाउ चांस क्रिएशन इज शिफ्टेड टू साका. अब साका सिर्फ 7 असिस्ट, मोस्ट असिस्ट इन द प्रीमियर लीग.
Havertz is playing his games of his life, man.
Exactly.
क्या खेल रहा है वो बंदा यार.
So I think that is one thing that we have over other teams, specifically Liverpool. I'm not saying Liverpool and City are one dimensional. They also like, if you see, very complex तरीके से दोनों भी बहुत अलग अलग तरीके से खेलते हैं, but they still, Arsenal have the chameleon sort of personality to play a defensive game, offensive game, mid block, super aggressive, high press, Jegen press, counter press. They are okay with everything.
See, one place I feel where you lack, which is my 2 cents here, which is that तुम्हारा depth जो है वहाँ
I agree.
You have
squad depth.
Squad depth is something where City is unmatched in the world right now. And Liverpool maybe not, ठीक है, but the squad depth, अब जैसे injury आ गई, अभी you guys are so recently Saka is injured, not injured but like there is a knock,
he limped off against Greece.
Odegaard is gonna come back
and Odegaard को setback हो गया, he's out till December now.
So all these things are season defining. अगर तुम्हारे पास कोई someone to rely on, see, your versatility of the players is going to help you out here for sure, and that is what the edge is. But I feel that you need more depth and more stability when okay, this guy is gone, let's put in this guy, we know it's going to work, we know we have tried it out, and इसमें थोड़ा अब मैनेजर का प्ले आएगा ज़्यादा कि he has to.
You said it completely. मेरे को क्या लगता है कि डेप्थ तो हमको डेफिनेटली चाहिए. We were thinking, I was surprised that we did not sign like a marquee attacker, this
center forward
भी नहीं तो भी एक left wing we didn't sign.
Trossard is good.
Exactly. So
good.
My point is कि
and you guys dodged a bullet with Mudryk, bro.
Exactly. तो मेरे को लगता है Arteta is very clear about not disturbing what's happening in the squad. He knows there are some players जिससे वो कुछ भी मांग सकता है. Trossard left wing, right wing, false 9, left 8, off the bench, हर जगह से खेल लेगा. Similarly, where things get interesting is 2 players I will say when it comes to depth. Raheem Sterling and Ethan Nwaneri.
Okay.
Nwaneri is one of the breakout stars for us this season. Obviously, Premier League has not been able to show till now. But Sterling अभी तक कुछ किया नहीं है. But there is a point in time in this season where I think he will have his say. I'm not saying we are completely stacked up and I'm very confident. But I'm confident in मतलब Arteta has bought enough मतलब credit in the bank कि भाई let's see if he thinks कि we don't need anyone because अभी तक तो काम कर रहा है. Without Odegaard, we are unbeaten and we are up there with the top.
Absolutely.
In the table. Yeah. So let's see. I mean, I absolutely get your point and I agree with it. That depth is an issue. Maybe we are stacked in defense, but midfield.
I mean, that would probably be the only reason you guys miss out on the title.
Fair enough.
The only reason.
कि मतलब मई में जब एक गोल चाहिए तो हालैंड जैसे गोल मार सकता है अपने में और लोग चाहिए.
हाँ, अगर कल see God forbid, but कल अगर Havertz इंजर हो गया.
Right. तो Jesus में I'm not confident.
You are not confident. No one is. Even though he is a technically sound player.
I agree.
Match minutes नहीं है.
No, I completely agree with that.
So yeah,
squad depth is an issue.
So I think.
But yeah, I mean, I think we've answered the question and
absolutely.
We can go ahead because, like we said, offside opinions, guys. We want it to be quick and fast, and we want it to be opinionated.
Yeah.
So keep engaging with us in the comments as well, so that we can understand what you guys think about these questions. And I think we'll move on to the next question. I've got a very spicy question for specifically for Karan, but for all you guys as well. The question goes: will Palmer's talent outgrow Chelsea's progression? So the question surrounds around Chelsea's doing well, and we understand that. But Palmer is on fire, right?
He's lava.
The simple question is there any in a simple world if Chelsea do not walk the talk in the next coming 18 months, is there any other world where Cole Palmer will like to go back to City, go to Madrid, or things like that?
मस्त जोक मारा रे.
See, this is a very an early question. Like it's Enzo Maresca's first season.
Right.
Last season was Cole Palmer's breakout season where he literally carried the entire team on his back and did whatever he could. And people were like, okay, quite possible. One season he did great, but he has to prove it in the second season to be like, okay, cemented. This guy is the guy and he's doing the job. He's doing it right now. He is currently the most
prolific.
A player with the most throughput in the entire Europe or probably the entire world.
Yeah.
I may be wrong about the entire world. I don't know about the Brazilian and River Plate and whatever is going on there. But in Europe or in the major leagues of football, this guy has got 44 goal involvement since the last calendar year till now. That is 2 more than Haaland.
Yeah.
And if you ask me, like last year, if you would have asked me that would you swap Haaland for Cole Palmer, I would be like, okay, maybe, because this guy's maybe a one season wonder.
Right.
This guy is doing more than a Haaland or a Salah or a Saka or I think anyone right now.
Right.
The match impact that he has.
Right.
You can't deny. He's just inevitable right now. And especially, so there is this. So I want to talk about this one particular thing which I've noticed about Cole Palmer. I don't know if you guys have, but so there is a lag in his play between. So so there are lines, right? There's a center forward, there's an attacker's line, there's a midfielder's line, and there is a defender's line. And this guy, as soon as he gets the ball, he holds up, like as in he literally pauses for like a couple of seconds, and the entire line is shifted.
Yeah.
Like the defenders are in front of him.
It's called the pausa.
Exactly. And he's right in the middle between these both lines every single time since the last season. Like there is this coolness to his play where he can just jump out of this entire defense. And
but where do you think Chelsea needs to be in the next 18 months for Palmer to be like, you know what, I'm staying here, I'm winning everything here?
No, so there is no team right now where, I mean, sure, United maybe, but there is no team right now who would build a team around Cole Palmer. And I'm saying a league team better than Chelsea.
Yeah. I mean, there is an argument to be had that he's at the right place, and a Madrid would not.
Absolutely not. You have 6 star players there: Vinicius Junior, Mbappe, Rodrigo,
even a Barca for that matter.
Lamine Yamal. So I'm not saying he does not have that caliber. He does have that caliber. But the problem is that you need to give this manager some time to prove something. Tomorrow or this end of the season, if he's through top 4, which today also I'm not expecting. I did not expect us to be in top 4 right now. Did you?
No, we didn't.
Off the bat season of Enzo Maresca, he's in top 4. He's doing great. Palmer is thriving under his system. I'm not saying the team is built around him, but he has been given that freedom that probably Guardiola wouldn't have given him in Manchester City. That's why he's out. That's why he got out. He's like, I don't want to go on a loan.
Yeah.
And I don't think he was offered a loan. He was like, you stay.
No, it also shows that Cole Palmer's confidence ki bhai, I don't care if I'm going to a Chelsea which looks like a sinking ship right now.
Yeah.
But I back up my talent in a way that I will be able to show who I am in whichever team I go. And the best players in the world always do that.
So,
irrespective where they go.
Fun fact, he was announced the England's Player of the Year.
Yeah, I saw that.
A week back. And a lot of people are debating, is it an best English player of this year, or is it best player from the England team this year? It's a debatable.
I know what you mean.
Yeah. So people are having this controversial opinion that he's not the best England player because in the England squad Saka has been performing great and he's been consistent.
I think Saka got this award for 2 years in a row.
Exactly. So that
they had to go to anyone.
Yeah. So the question, the reason why they've given it to him is because it's not the best England player in the world in this year.
Like not the best player playing under the English team.
Yeah.
It's more like the best English player of the year.
Exactly. And
it's not a bad shout. I mean,
and it's unquestionable. Forget bad shout. It is unquestionable.
Yeah, exactly.
Like banda assist de raha hai, banda goal maar raha hai, banda how many hat-tricks has he scored already?
I agree. No, but again, the whole question pivots around there needs to be some amount of progression, which obviously we are starting to see from Chelsea already. Yeah. And it needs to be in a way where Palmer is confident that, you know what, I'm going to stay here. Absolutely. I'm going to do well. I'm going to win all those things.
There is no question. His contract was renewed. This guy had a 8-year contract. I think they made it a 10-year contract or something. He's been given a raise. He's he's living
because
the life.
They realize that this problem might happen ahead. But interesting. I mean, it's something that is a good question in terms of whenever there is a good player who's not challenging for the title. This is a standard question that people ask.
And we've had a great amount of players and history with Real Madrid, and we being the feeder club for Real Madrid, and a lot of our players have gone there and been great, and it's going to happen sometime or the other later in the future, not now, not in 18 months.
He's too young for that anyway.
And so the ceiling is too young. Right. Ceiling for players to thrive and jump to bigger clubs is right now very low. Like 21 years prime, 22 years prime, chale jao. But I think he's gonna stay, I think it's a vague opinion that Chelsea can't expect his fulfill his expectations because we are one of those clubs who in every 2 seasons have won something or the other.
Yeah, that's
Let's
fair.
not forget we were champions of Europe 2 years back. Let's not forget that.
No, let's see. I mean, only time will tell. And
I
think it's an interesting point to make.
Absolutely. So
I think we can move to the next question.
Let's move to the next question. So this is again an interesting one. So this was a question that one of our viewers had commented on one of our posts saying that we should be discussing this. His name is Ashish Shah, and shout out to him for asking this question and being part of the community. So the question is, so we need to name one ex-legend from each Big Six teams that could have taken these in the current situation, in the current scenario, taken these teams to the next level.
So one ex-legend from Big Six that would take this team, their team right now to the next level, right?
Some like a player from their alma mater who would have made them better or would have taken them to the next step.
Okay, let's start with City. Do they have legends? I mean,
Hey, no, come on. I think yeah. So this is a valid point that they do have legends, but
City will have to pick someone last 10 years. Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, but a
Who would you pick?
notable shout out Yaya Toure, bro. Like, yeah, right
Oh,
now,
fuck, yeah.
Rodri injured, Yaya Toure slots in, prime
And that-
Yaya Toure. Fuck everyone. Fuck they would win
Everything.
Everything. Like there is no
Sextuple.
question. Next, there is no question.
No, but to
everything.
be honest, that stat comes around the Christmas all the time. Yaya Toure had that season, right, where he scored some bullshit amount of goals, assists,
Yeah.
direct free kicks.
Yeah.
And we'll
Bro.
try and find that stat for you guys.
Yeah.
But yeah, if that Yaya Toure comes into this City team, it's curtains, man. It's like,
over. It's over. I'll be like, just create a new league. Just create a new
that guy
league.
could do
Like,
everything and more.
Absolutely,
So, yeah.
absolutely.
So good shout. I mean,
Absolutely.
I would have said Company maybe, but not because they need a defender. But I just feel that a Company would lock their defense down to an Arsenal and Liverpool level defense, which they don't have for the past 2 seasons. Their defense has been a bit leaky. But Aguero बोल नहीं सकते because Haaland
अरे
है यार.
अभी तो गया है वो
हाँ,
भी
exactly.
वैसे भी यार
But
मतलब
yeah,
ठीक है
good
legend
shout.
है for sure legend
Let's shift to say Liverpool.
Liverpool right now their midfield is lacking other than Gravenberch being the breakout guy.
Yeah.
So for sure Gerrard has to be here.
Yeah, Stevie G is the easiest answer.
Stevie G is the easiest answer. But again,
I would
let's not
actually,
go.
yeah, I would actually, I would have thought of even someone like a Xabi Alonso.
For sure.
Because,
For sure.
but the only reason why I say that is Xabi Alonso wouldn't be as good as he was under Klopp. He would have been as good under Slot though.
You know,
The reason being
yeah.
because Slot likes to play very slow in his first phase of the game and studs on the ball, like I say.
Yeah.
And Xabi Alonso is like the perfect guy.
Yeah.
So they could do a double pivot where, I mean, everybody wants to play a flat 4-4-3.
with Gravenberch and
4-3-3
Xabi
now.
Alonso as a double pivot.
Yeah. And with Gravenberch being the destroyer who wins the ball and gives it back to Xabi
Yeah.
Alonso, and Xabi Alonso is
Pings.
pinging it to Darwin Núñez, Salah,
Yeah.
and Luis Diaz.
So,
but Stevie G walks into
an
any team
underrated
and-
shout that I just thought of right now. So they don't. I mean, Darwin Núñez is great, Cody Gakpo is great, but I think right now with Salah and this Luis Diaz in form, I think Peter Crouch in center forward would kill it.
That would be
Would kill it. I mean, I'm not saying that. Like he's technically sound. Obviously, Crouchy was never technically
the
sound.
streets would not forget.
Yeah,
like the
like-
OG Barclays Premier League.
Man, he was a OG Barclays
Yeah.
like
That's
belter
true.
of a header and everything. Like this guy was everything. I think he could fit in this team as a centre forward.
He would
given
be the
current
Divock
scenario.
Origi of this team. Like I
Maybe
don't think he
even
would start.
better, bro.
No, I don't think he would
better.
start. But I see what you mean. I
Yeah,
see what you
like
mean.
these guys throwing in balls and just header in.
Let's do Spurs. Do they have legends? I mean, who the fuck?
No,
plays
they
for
do. They
Spurs,
do have
man?
legends, I think. And come on, like,
Yeah, I'm just-
like let's not forget Gareth Bale. Let's not forget Luka Modric. Let's not forget.
In fact, I would have said Luka Modric. I mean, Gareth Bale.
Gareth
yes.
Bale right now
He walks
hands
into
down,
any team.
hands
Prime Gareth
down,
Bale walks into any team in the
hands
world. Period.
Fucking down.
But
like,
Modric, it's interesting to talk tactically because I think what Spurs lack, Spurs are very good with their. So Spurs have the highest PPDA in the Premier League this season, which is passes per defensive action, which is a measure of how intense a team is.
Yeah.
The lower PPDA you have, which means कि तुम्हारे players उतने ज़्यादा भाग रहे हैं, उतने ज़्यादा जल्दी बॉल जीतने का ट्राई कर रहे हैं. तो Tottenham have the lowest PPDA this season. With Modric, what they get is Modric in Spurs would have gotten a good pausa in their game,
Yeah.
where when they win the ball, they have someone like a Modric to ping it to one of these players. And Modric for me is one of my favorite players in the recent
He's a
era.
generational
He's
midfielder,
generational.
for sure,
Yeah.
for sure.
I hated that he wore that jersey when he was here, and he wasn't even that good. मतलब जितना अच्छा वो Ballon d'Or जीता later.
थोड़ा subdued personality है ना यार.
Yeah, he's the
So,
typical, Jorginho,
Yeah.
Xabi Alonso
Like,
types where
चलेगा.
Kante, where
चलेगा.
he doesn't have any haters in the world,
हाँ.
and everybody knows he's a baller.
Absolute
So he would have
baller,
been a great
absolute
shot.
baller.
Chelsea.
Bro, there is endless players that I can pull in the defense right now because that is where we are lacking.
Yeah.
John Terry for sure right
JT.
now instead of Wesley Fofana or this Badwashile or this चूतिया वो कौन है वो डिसासी बाप रे भगवान बचाओ हमें पर thank God to our attackers who are supporting us and 4-2 हो रहा है गेम्स वैसे चल रहा है but yeah John Terry for sure and maybe in the midfield right now you could put a Frank Lampard or a William Gallas.
William Gallas would play centre backs.
But
like
in today's format, he could play as a CDM and with John Terry.
I think you guys could really do with a either like a Michael Essien or like
Yeah, a CDM as well. Michael Essien is a good choice.
What's the other guy?
For sure.
From who went to Madrid. Mourinho के under था M से उसका नाम था. Fuck, how do I forget his name?
Madrid, Michael Essien.
Makelele.
Oh.
He would have been
फिर then I can say Kante also because I think Kante was better than Makelele. मैंने Makelele
But Kante is not like legend for Chelsea.
For me is a legend. For me is a legend.
But Makelele was like, bro.
Yeah, like a position is named after him for sure. So he's a legend. Absolutely. Good shout.
Yeah, I just thought of him because I remember एक Michael Essien का Arsenal के goal था belter from outside the box.
अरे बाप रे.
I think, but I mean, you still have Caicedo, but I think this question is turning into more like we're remembering the legends. But it's fine. I mean, it's a good question, Ashay. Thanks for the shout.
Yeah.
We'll shift to United.
United. Bro, पूरी टीम ले आओ फर्ग्यूसन की पूरी टीम ले आओ फर्ग्यूसन को भी ले आओ.
Actually, man.
साला ये दुख का खत्म नहीं होता बे.
मतलब कोई क्वेश्चन ही नहीं है.
Swap every single. United will swap Rafael right now if they could.
अबे सब I think other than Mazraoui, which I feel is a astoundingly great player, and maybe.
But let's take the question.
And Kobe Manu.
Let's take the question seriously.
Let's okay.
Maximum 1 or 2 names. Go for it.
Yeah, Cristiano Ronaldo for sure.
For the sake of the question, let's
pull him out.
Yeah.
Okay. So Wayne Rooney.
Fuck, that was my answer. Wayne Rooney. Yeah.
Wayne Rooney has to be in this team.
Waza
needs to be there.
What a guy, bro. Fuck.
Hey.
And I think the answer for United pivots around. I would have said Wayne Rooney as well, but even someone like a Ferdinand, someone like a Michael Carrick.
Absolutely.
Anybody who A understands the fabric of the club, B understands what it means to run, play, and give it all for your team,
and has a discipline.
I agree.
Of a United player. So United
Even
was
like
known
a
for his
vintage, bro,
discipline. मतलब यार Beckham अपने बाल मुंडवा लिया था bro discipline के नाम पे because of Ferguson.
So I mean anyone from that ilk.
So discipline is something that they need.
So we are left with Spurs done Arsenal obviously. Arsenal is super easy, bro. I mean there's one guy TT Henry और कोई हो ही नहीं सकता यार, because to be very honest it might be very controversial also, but I don't even think any other legend gets into any of the positions easily apart from Henry right now.
मैं एक बात
right wing, left wing maybe I would love a good Perez or like a Ljungberg.
I have a underrated shout again.
Yeah.
I think in your midfield trio where you have Odegaard and Declan Rice, the third person could be Cesc Fabregas.
Oh, bro, good shout.
He would ping balls left, right, center.
Fabregas, bro, I love the guy.
I love him as well for.
And I think he played his best football at Arsenal. He was great at Chelsea.
He was great at Chelsea, but yes, you are right.
And he said that himself in one of his interviews, like the best time
from
ever.
Barcelona, Arsenal, Chelsea.
But yeah, I mean Fabregas is a great shout. In fact, you know what? I would change my answer to Fabregas
right now.
Because a left 8 of Fabregas, right 8 of Odegaard, Rice in the center. I don't mind Havertz because I love Havertz. But Henry is like the easiest answer. So anyway.
Henry obviously कभी भी कोई भी टीम में ले लो यार मतलब.
Great man, good question Ashay. Thank you for your question.
Thank you so much, man.
We'll shift to the next question. Another very interesting question. So the question is, you have to name one standout player outside the big six. You know, the classic big six. One standout player, one per club, one per. You name one, I'll name one. So one standout player outside the big six this season, according to you. So we are starting with Newcastle.
My answer is quite an obvious one, but we need to give flowers to this guy again because Anthony Gordon, man. Yeah. This guy is someone too young jumped into
Plays
a
for his
city,
boyhood club.
For his boyhood club. He had a great season last season, but I think the impact. He has just 2 goals this season, fair.
Yeah.
But his impact, his directness in the game. There are
Overall, last season also, yeah.
बहुत कम direct wingers बचे हैं अभी प्रीमियर लीग में यार. Like Saka
And
is
he's
one of
very
them,
good.
and
He
बहुत
runs well
कम
with the
direct
ball.
लोग हैं. And this guy is just pushing the defense back.
Yeah. I
He's
agree.
too good. I feel.
I would say Joe Linton, and it's more like a Eddie Howe ने भी जो उसके साथ किया है. He does not get enough credit. कि when he was a striker, Joe Linton, he was really, सब बोलते थे क्या प्लेयर है, इतना बड़ा है, कुछ नहीं कर पाता है. Since he's become like that typical, center midfield for Newcastle, he's been crazy, bro.
Yeah,
So many games he has such huge says in his game. So I would have said Joe Linton.
And a side shout out to Bruno Guimaraes as well.
Yeah.
Like he's
Great
been
player.
great.
Let's move to Aston Villa.
So Aston Villa has a lot of players. You can talk about a lot of them.
And what a job Emery is doing.
And yeah, what a job Emery is doing. I don't want to go with the obvious ones like Ollie Watkins and whatever, the Mavericks and what they're doing. But I feel Emiliano Martinez is a shout. He's
Proper shithouse, that guy.
He's
man.
one of the reasons why these guys are in the position that they are.
I agree.
Fine, he has just 1 clean sheet, but his recoveries, his saves.
You need one of those players who are, who have those.
Yeah, he has an average of 4.
Cojones.
Cajones. So he has an average of 4 saves per 90 minutes, which is a great number for a keeper to have, who's in the top half and probably top 5 in the Premier League.
Yeah,
right now.
easy.
So,
top 5 Premier League keepers, easy.
Yeah,
easy.
and a World Cup winner. Let's not forget that, man. So
I would give a shout out to Pau Torres, man. So,
super.
He was United fans will know United was also looking at Pau Torres for a transfer, and I think he played under Emery and won the Europa with them. And what I like about him is he really is a typical. He suits Premier League football to the T. Like he has that. He's very gazelle like. He's tall but he's very आराम से ball पे खेल सकता है. And without him, I think Emery won't be able to do the sort of transformation he's done with the club without.
Absolutely, he's good with aerial duels. He's good with his passing.
Yeah.
He's like, I mean, he's
Great
well-rounded. He's a very well-rounded player.
Let's shift to Brentford.
Brentford again. I think Vissa was injured right now, but
What a start he had, bro. I just got to buy him in FPL.
Bach
Got
gaya.
injured, bach gaya. But great player, bro.
Great player. Vissa is. So they play with this
Almost like a 4-4-2.
4-4-2, right? So
In fact, my answer would have been Embo as well.
exactly, these 2 players are the ones who are. Mbemba is again a great shout, and yeah, I think these guys are the ones who are impacting the game the most in Brentford.
And the numbers are there. They run for their team. Embo does the set pieces as well.
Absolutely.
So love the team, by the way, Brentford, man.
Good.
Brighton. Let's go Brighton. I would say for Brighton, मेरे को Mitoma, bro. What a guy.
Good take from Liverpool. Good pull from Liverpool, and he's been doing great.
I don't think he came from Liverpool, bro. So what is interesting
Mitoma
from what?
Liverpool खेला था ना, नहीं?
So what is interesting about Mitoma is he was playing college football in Japan. He was not even. So most of these big players are playing since the age of 8. ये 15-16 साल की उम्र में फुटबॉल खेलना चालू किया है. And he was playing university football. And then now he's become what he's become, and there are a couple of clips where Pep has these darling players where like Adama Traore के साथ भी वो किया. After games he stood and had a chat with Mitoma about this, how he plays and everything. But overall, great player, man, and I love how he is so direct with his dribbling. Always goes 1-on-1 and finishes the action with a good final ball. So Mitoma is my answer.
Yeah. So I think guys, Danny Welbeck, man.
Yeah.
भाई क्या कर रहा है वो कहाँ मतलब
That guy Wells.
Resurgence
Yeah.
on the next level. मतलब 4 goals, 1 assist in 7 matches.
He's doing really well. I mean, he's
क्या
finally
है?
found his footing in the Premier League.
साले ने brace मारा last week.
He's looking good, bro. He's looking fast. He's looking
proper poacher. He's
holding up as well.
And ठीक है पेस चले गया है but he's utilizing his brains and his best instincts inside the box and he's doing great. So Danny Welbeck for me, man, like kudos.
Let's move to Crystal Palace.
So, what do you think?
Ebrichi Eze, bro. It's the easiest answer. But I think he does not. People do not understand how good he is because he plays in a Crystal Palace team. But Crystal Palace last one season have been doing so well. What I like about him is trust me, मेरे हिसाब से I can see him play in an Arsenal and a City team.
Absolutely.
Why I say that is because he can play left eight, he can play left wing, he can even, under a good coach, he can even play a false nine and has a good shot on him, takes good free kicks, gives good through balls as well, has creativity inside him. So I just think he's a standout.
He was a bit under the radar because the other guy moved to Bayern Munich,
Olise.
right? Olise.
Yeah.
And I honestly thought that he was a better talent than Olise, but Olise is doing great there.
It's funny that he did not get his move, but anyways.
So fine, that's a good shout. But I'm gonna back my boy Trevor Chalobah, man. Like this guy.
Yeah, we almost forget.
This guy is gonna be a revelation for Crystal Palace, and he's doing great.
He's on loan, right?
He's on no.
permanent transfer.
हमारा profits दिखाने के लिए बेचना पड़ा था बेचारे को यार. Like I was the last. Like I would be the last person to sell him. So Trevor Chalobah is doing great. I think he's cemented his position there as a centre back for sure next to Mark Gay.
I think going from your boy to mine, let's talk about Fulham.
Oh yeah, let's go. I know you're gonna
Emil
say
Smith Rowe, bro. Emil Smith Rowe.
He's the revelation.
He's running with the ball like he's meant to be. He's in a good place. I feel so good for him, bro. Genuinely मन से खुशी होती है कि भाई तू जाके अच्छे से फुटबॉल खेल. And I'm shouting. I mean I'm cheering from him from the side stands, and you know I love the guy, and I genuinely think he would have been a great player at Arsenal, but needs must, and now he's at Fulham and doing well.
Yeah,
so
man.
Who would you say for Fulham?
Fulham में right now their star performer is I feel other than Emil Smith Rowe, Raul Jimenez, bro. मतलब वो Wolves से अपना सर फोड़ के आया और like recovery करके right now he's on like 3 goals and 1 assist, which is like
he gave a backheel assist against City.
Yeah, in 7 matches that's a good throughput.
Yeah.
And मतलब.
And Fulham have had a great start. You know, they are
like, bro,
5th
Adama
now.
is also doing great. Adama अभी वो
In fact, if you saw the City and Fulham game, they could have easily drawn the game.
All
drew
because
the game
of Adama ने अगर
missed
score
दिया
किया
है.
तो भाई 4 he would have had 4 goals straight up. लेकिन वो
No wonder Pep आग से बात कर रहा था.
सुनना अच्छा किया.
That's true.
अगले साल तेरे को ले लूँगा.
Let's move to Bournemouth. I would say Semenyo for Bournemouth, man. Good player. And he's been doing well.
Yeah,
he's direct.
He's quite in the limelight as well. बहुत like a lot of people are talking about him.
Who would you say for Bournemouth?
यार this guy is Marcus Tavernier, man.
He was good last season as well.
He's so ये बंदा ना थोड़ा वो लगता है मतलब लीडर टाइप का लगता है and he is the free kick taker as well. He's right now on 1 goal and 1 assist just for now, but उसका impact बहुत ज़्यादा है मतलब.
No, good shout.
And he's a winger for them. I think he plays right, I believe. But again, he can play both sides.
Yeah.
He's a very good player. You should watch out for this guy.
Yeah. Let's shift to West Ham.
You go ahead first.
I think I would go with Jared Bowen. Not only because it's an obvious answer clearly, but I think he does not get enough credit for the player he is, only because he plays in a unstable West Ham team. His numbers are all seasons. His numbers last 2-3 years. His numbers have been up there. He's a good player for his size. He's stocky, but he's not very tall. He's stocky and he does well. Scores goals. He's just hit form again.
Started for England, but he's in the England squad. He did a good job.
So I think we should watch out for him.
Absolutely.
Who would you think?
I think Mohamed Kudus, man.
Yeah, man.
Like impact player है बंदा.
What a player, bro.
मतलब इसके तुम numbers भूल जाओ. तुम forget what paper tells you.
Yeah.
Just see him play. Just see how.
बढ़िया खेलता है यार.
Like I would happily take him in my team right.
Yeah, same. I would love Kudus.
मतलब मैं कल ले लूँगा मैं कि like चलो भाई this guy is sorted. I don't have.
जैसे चेल्सी किसी को भी ले लेगी ऐसे.
हम तो पैसा भाई देखो अभी सारे के सारे प्रॉफिट में निकलेंगे तुम देख लो.
Anyways, let's shift to Leicester.
Leicester, bhai, one and only man, Jamie Vardy, he's
Nicotine
back.
and Red Bull.
Yeah, nicotine, Red Bull, pasta before the game. Pill
अब 2-3 गोल भी मारा है यार वो.
Yeah, I think Jamie Vardy scored like
I think the
goals.
Jamie Vardy highlight of the season is when he's equalized against Tottenham and was heading back to he did ki you have a Premier League, you have none.
Yeah, he scored two goals.
Yeah.
Good, not a bad XG. मतलब अभी मतलब point like he's got a 0.40 XG for per 90 minutes, and on an average in 7 games 1.8, which is not bad.
Yeah.
Not bad. Not
I
bad.
would say NDD because NDD is also classic Barclays men player.
हाँ भाई.
You know, and he used to play.
मतलब चिढ़ जाएगा आदमी साला
he centre back भी खेलता था. He used to play midfield as well. There was a point of time after when they won the Premier League, City were trying to get NDD. But what I love is that his position is now changed. He's playing almost like the most forward midfielder. He's playing almost like a 10. He's already had I think 3 assists this season, and he has the most tackles in the Premier League right now. So great player, man, and always has been a good player, and is just showing his quality even today.
Absolutely.
Ipswich.
भाई एक ही बंदा है. I don't think there is any other here.
Delap.
Yeah, bro, Liam Delap. What a player. क्या कर रहा है ये? कहाँ से ये सिटी से आया है?
Yeah.
And
I like his frame, bro. He's like a big guy.
मेरे को थोड़ा सा आई एम नॉट सेइंग दैट एजाइल बट थोड़ा सा अग्वेरो रीजन लगता है मेरे को.
I think he's a bit different to Aguero maybe because Aguero was short and stocky. This guy's a bit taller
but has the he's leaning towards the agile side. मतलब he's quick, bro. मतलब
He's
उसका
quick.
half turn and everything is amazing. 4 गोल मारा है. Good start to the season. I think
Someone to
he's,
stand,
I think
spot out
he's
for.
gonna score at least 15-16 goals.
I think 15-16 is a lot. अगर वो 10 भी पार करे तो
And,
बहुत because he's playing for
Ipswich.
Ipswich.
अगर कहीं और होता तो surely.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Let's shift to Southampton. I wanted to highlight a player in Southampton. He played well against Arsenal as well. A guy called Tyler Dibbling. He's a young 20-year-old. Plays with his socks like Jack Grealish and Smith Rowe. You know, typical old school English. Runs with the ball very fast, very tricky with his feet. He's not that South American flair, but your typical just power runner with the ball.
Yeah.
So I think he's one to look out for. In fact, he might be an underrated shout because he might not stand out this full season, but I think he's a player that would show his quality in the next coming seasons.
Absolutely.
I think we can shift to Everton.
Yeah, Everton, bro. I think इन लोग जो survive कर रहे हैं सिर्फ इसी बंदे की वजह से. जॉर्डन पिकफोर्ड
Saved a penalty.
सेव्ड अ पेनल्टी, एक क्लीन शीट है. मतलब वो एवरेज 3 सेव कर रहा है पर गेम.
I think what Dyche is doing well is he's counting on the quality players of his team. Also with his players with it he's worked before. Even someone like Dwight McNeil.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's
Dwight
back in
McNeil
form.
is a great shout, and Jordan Pickford especially because साले का distribution बहुत अच्छा है.
Yeah.
So he's
His kick
capitalizing
is
on
really
that,
good,
and
yeah.
that is what is helping Everton
Good
out
shout.
जितना भी. मतलब
I think let's shift to Wolves.
यार Wolves यार बहुत खराब खेल रही है. Like सब तो everyone picked out their players,
Yeah.
but the players who are outright clear of their entire team, I think Ait Nouri, bro. Ait Nouri
बहुत अच्छा
technically sound. मतलब like you know Joga
Like
Bonito
he
type
could,
का player है.
he could play
मतलब
easily play for a top half team in Premier League. easily.
yeah मतलब भयंकर टेक्निकलिटी है. बैक हील पासेस कुछ मतलब
Even Cunha for that matter, Matheus Cunha.
वो तो टॉप स्कोरर है इनका ना. Matthew
And
Cunha is also good, very
plays
good.
well.
Brazilian.
Yeah,
Brazilian.
has a got good flair about him, good power, and yeah, someone we should look out for.
Absolutely.
Nottingham Forest, last team.
भाई नॉटिंघम फॉरेस्ट में तो भाई एक ही बंदा है. फॉरेस्ट में क्या होता है?
Yeah.
वुड. क्रिस वुड, ब्रो.
Crazy.
भाई he is
I missed him in FPL, bro. क्या goals मार रहा है वो?
Inevitable, bro. मतलब क्या कर रहा है ये बंदा? मतलब so every time I feel like this guy should be not scoring.
Yeah.
साला कहीं से भी आके कुछ भी मतलब कहीं से भी ऐसे पैर निकाल देगा. कुछ भी कर देगा. He'll just score.
ये
मतलब
typical English old school 70s का forward जैसा.
हाँ मतलब आएगा ऐसा को पकड़ा है कैसा पकड़ा.
In fact, another player from Nottingham for me would be Sells. Because
अरे,
something very interesting.
क्या
Sells
keeper
तो
है.
obviously has good save ratio and everything, but Nottingham have third least XG conceded this year in Premier League after I think Liverpool and
इन लोग भी एक ही मैच हारे हैं ना आई थिंक
Yeah.
नॉटिंघम फॉरेस्ट has
But
just
not
lost.
only that, but their defense is good. So I think their XG conceded is third least in Premier League right now. Second is Aston Villa, Liverpool being the top.
Like,
and that's
not-
crazy, bro. I mean, think about Aston Villa. I'm not surprised, but having after 7 game weeks having Nottingham as the third best defense, practically the third best defense, sells has a big role to play.
One draw and 4 draws, 1 loss and 2 wins, man.
Good start
ठीक है,
for
10th है,
Nottingham,
but right now it's competitive, man.
Yeah, they I'm sure they're happy with their start.
Absolutely.
Great question, man. I think quick.
So that was a long ass segment for this. So
we can do a quick last question and then
this is again a interesting one. Think about it. What is the new tactic or the fashion that's currently being followed in Premier League clubs? That is basic. So what's the new gen tactic and what people are what the clubs are trying to follow? And
like the new fashion. What is the new in thing in Premier League?
मतलब क्या है in fashion क्या आ रहा है नया बढ़िया है. So what do you think?
So when we were thinking about what to answer about this question, I had a couple of things to highlight. Number one was, I think clubs' ownership styles have changed. I mean, bar Chelsea, but clubs' ownership style have changed in a way where pehle the teams who were in the bottom half were very reactive, and January February तक तुम्हारा रॉय हॉटसन और
Sean
बिग सैम और ये सब आ
Dyche,
जाते थे
yeah.
कि चलो हम लोग relegation से बचाएंगे तुमको. But now the
Trust the process kind of
trust
feel
the
आ
process
गया.
kind of feel आ गया in a way कि all these people have young managers.
हाँ यार,
all
Thomas
these
Frank है, ये सब
Thomas
है.
Frank is not that young, but I mean people like Bournemouth का manager, Southampton का manager. These guys are under 40, just under 50 over 40 kind
absolutely.
of. Even Brighton have a 35 or some old.
अरे उसका तो नाम थोड़ा weird
वो
है, मैं
मिलनर
भूल
से
जाता
young
हूँ.
है यार.
हाँ.
He's a German guy, I think. So I think that is something that has changed. That was my one answer. The other was just this. The change and the evolution of fullbacks in Premier League and generally in football. Like pehle the wingers and midfielders were the people who had the longest task list by the manager. देखो ये भी करना है, वो भी करना है, ये भी करना है. I think now that player is fullbacks. कि you have to be technically strong, you have to be
Invert करो, आगे
and
जाओ,
at the top,
overlap करो,
and at the
सब
top
करो.
of the game with Arsenal, Liverpool, City, and a lot of these top clubs, even a couple of players in Chelsea, what these guys are trying to do is I call them the garden wall defenders, which is basically Guardiola is a great example, Calafiori is a great example, that you have to be 6'2" for it, but you have to be technically immaculate
and
मतलब
pacey.
You can defend one-on-one, you can overlap, you can underlap,
Absolutely.
you can even invert, you can convert into a center defender if you have to. So I think that is one of the rarest profiles in football right now. But it's something that clubs are, even at the top level, even someone like a Camavinga and these guys. So these guys are really, like fullback is the toughest position to play right now.
I think in the similar lines, but I think the attack is something which is very fluid for everyone in every team. But मुझे लगता है कि in defense the ball playing factor which is to play out from the back for any team right now is crucial, and that is what they are following. Beat the keeper, beat the fullbacks as we were talking about, that overlapping or like inverting into the midfield and are very technically sound and pacey and have this instinct to jump into these holes of space. But
Pockets
at the same
of
time, pockets of spaces. But at the same time, the centre backs, man, like you see William Saliba, you see Levi Colwill, you see Van Dijk, you see Ruben Diaz. These guys are technically sound ball-playing defenders who can play in CDMs. John Stones ले लो यार. John Stones कहाँ खेलता है? साला classic example है John Stones. Like all these players, Calafiori is also one of he's one of those players who could
he started his career as a left back, shifted to centre back, now he's back to left back.
And I think he would play great as a CDM as well.
Yeah, easily. Yeah.
And he, because of his stature, his
skill set,
everything. So this is something which is happening in almost every teams, and people it's getting trickled down to
like even a Fulham, even a Southampton, even a not sure Southampton, but Crystal Palace. These guys have really sound. Joachim Anderson for Fulham, I think.
भाई मार्क गई चलो ठीक है उतना बॉल
They have really technically
हाँ.
sound CBs now.
Yeah.
In fact, even goalkeepers for that matter.
Goalkeepers, Jordan Pickford, good distribution. You see,
Flecken for Brentford. You
Absolute
see
great
the the Brighton guy.
Yeah.
These guys are playing short passes only.
and Andre Onana from Manchester United is one of the very few players who are doing great in United right now.
Yeah.
If you see, that
I
guy
agree.
is doing great.
They have the most clean sheets right now.
Yeah, but like it doesn't matter with
Yeah.
being 14, but like
No,
like,
yeah.
Andre Onana.
And he's got himself to prove this season. He has to prove himself.
Great.
So, but I think we've gone through all our questions.
And I think it's a great time to call it a night, and let's let all these questions sink in.
Yeah.
Tell us about if some things that you feel that we missed out, or some players like in ones to watch, or any of these questions that you felt that we should have mentioned, or what you think should be called out.
In fact, even with the format, if you guys like the format, if you like what we're doing with this, you can start putting in questions for say next week, or maybe we do this 2 weeks after, but we would like to keep this format. And अगर आप लोग को कोई questions है कि यार ये पूछ के देखो for offside opinions, then we would love to answer those questions. And like a classic YouTuber will say, guys, please like, share and subscribe.
And before we close off, just a reminder, we're going to be back for Chelsea versus Liverpool preview.
We've got something very exciting for you guys.
And very special lined up. We have a guest coming in, and also at the same time we're going to have some great conversations. So please join us there, and see you guys soon.
So sit back and relax and wait for the next episode. And this is me, Ronak, signing off.
This is Karan here.
And welcome to the Football Republic of India, which is getting started.